So I know you're also working on an article about another guy that's kind of similar. He's a little bit bigger, taller, lanky, defensive tackle Maason Smith from LSU. Take us through what you have working on, and again, you're working on an article on Smith.
Yeah, it should be posted by tomorrow morning. Talked to him at the combine and really liked the conversation with him. And I think he fits. He met with the Browns at the combine. I think he can, he's 6'5", like 306. So he's, not huge from a weight perspective, right? Um, but he's tall. He's got that height that sometimes you're looking for inside. I talked to one of his coaches at LSU, Pete Jenkins, a longtime D-line coach, and he thinks he's a better passer. He says he's good against the run, but he thinks his future is a really good pass rusher, can do it from the interior. Was a five-star recruit, number one recruit in Louisiana, had an ACL, had a bunch of different D-line coaches because there was issues at LSU. One of the guys got sick. So it's never really settled for him. Had a good freshman year, then got hurt in the opener his second year, then had all these defensive line guys as coaches as he worked back from the ACL. So I think he's a guy, it's a prospect with a lot of potential, a lot of upside. He said he met with Jim Schwartz and they talked about attacking, and that's what he would be good at. And he'd love to learn from Myles Garrett. So I think he's an interesting guy, at 54, even if he slides into the third round or the Browns trade down in the second round, maybe he'd still be there, 10, 15 picks later. I just think there's a tremendous upside with him. He's a smart guy. Everybody you talk to says he works hard. I think he's interesting. And, we talk about the Browns not having any needs or pressing needs, and I really believe that. But if you were going to have me list what I think their biggest needs right now are, a young D tackle would be in the top two or three.
Well, the other thing Andrew Berry keeps saying is they'll invest their capital in the areas they think that are big. That's offensive line, defensive line, and cornerbacks. We know that. That's what they value. That's what history has told us. So those would, and both the offensive line and defensive line are older.
Yes, you're 100% right. And I think there's 2 points there, Dave. The defensive line outside of Ika, right, who we saw very little from, is a rookie last year. It's an older group. Tomlinson's 30, I want to say. Shelby Harris is 32, I think. Maurice Hurst II is 28. Quentin Jefferson's 31. So it's kind of Ika and then a bunch of older guys. So yeah, you want to get younger there. And Andrew Berry talks about thinking about when he drafts, thinking about 2, 3, 4 years down the road. Okay, that's where a guy like Maason Smith or any of these D tackles could fit. And then I think they've made a little bit of a switch in philosophy, organizational philosophy when it comes to D tackle. Because for a while they weren't paying big money, right? They let Larry Ogunjobi go in free agency. They didn't re-sign Sheldon Richardson, and that was a money issue, if I remember correctly. And then with the hiring of Jim Schwartz, they went out and paid Dalvin Tomlinson. They drafted Ika, and I think there's a bit of a shift there to put more priority on the interior of the defensive line.